No, we don't have time for an intro this week. Roll the titles. Yes, welcome along to this week's Women's Football Chat. My name is Chris Gadsby. I'm here every Thursday at 6 p.m, bringing you the very latest from the third and fourth tiers of women's football here in England. That is the FA Women's National League. And my word, do we have a lot to talk about this week. We've got Sunday results, midweek results, more midweek fixtures, Sunday results coming up. That's in the league. We've also got the Cup. County Cup fixtures are starting to be announced as well, which means they're going to start causing havoc with the board behind me. And we have huge news out of Wales, and it is there that we are going to start today's show. Cardiff City Ladies is elated to announce a collaborative new chapter, new ownership and strategic investment from Dragons 23, a consortium led by Damien Singh and Julian Jenkins. Now, Cardiff City Ladies say that this is more than an investment. It is a partnership committed to realising the club's long-term vision of achieving a spot in the Women's Super League and fostering more talent for the women's national team. Michelle Adams, MBE, on the new partnership. We've looked at incorporating an investor for some time now. We wanted someone who shared our vision for our club, its future, and the women's game in Wales. From day one, upon meeting Julian and Damien, we knew we had found the right people and are happy they intend to continue with our vision for the club, both on and off the pitch. So Damien Singh of Dragons 23, who lives in Australia, says he's been blessed to witness firsthand the transformative power of women's football. The World Cup was not just a tournament, it was a catalyst for dreams and aspirations for young girls globally. Our goal in acquiring Cardiff City Ladies is to broaden that horizon for girls everywhere. While business and finance is my professional domain, sport is the passion that fuels me. It has been a dream to blend the best of both worlds, applying sound financial practices to a field that ignites such excitement. Canva, one of the world's largest private software companies, stands as a testament to what can be achieved when ambitious growth coexists with fiscal responsibility. He also wants to acknowledge the incredible work of Karen and Michelle. Their efforts have gotten Cardiff City Ladies to where it is today. So Karen Jones, also MBE, says that they've been given a wonderful opportunity for the club. All very proud of the rich history and the people who have walked down our club's path in the past. Superb. Kind of speaking of a big takeover here, I remember seeing off one article that mentioned the possibility of a new 10,000-seater stadium in the future as well, which would be quite remarkable. Of course, everyone or long-term watchers of the show know Cardiff City Ladies is where I started in women's football in the FAWNL, and excited to see what they can do. Didn't particularly go well for them this weekend, as we will look at shortly. But that is due to them not having a goalkeeper. As I said, we'll come on to that shortly. So, big news out of Cardiff then. Let's start and go through the results. We have plenty of them to get through. We will start from Sunday's results in the Northern Premier Division. AFC Fylde 0, Newcastle 4. 2 goals there to Bridget Galloway, 1 to Amber Stobbs, and another to Georgia Gibson. The 4-0 victory for Newcastle as they got their campaign underway, having not played on opening day. 1-1 draw between Burnley and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Burnley took the lead in this one. Leah Embley in the 62nd minute, only for Anna Morfitt 5 minutes later to level for Wolves. Points shared or points dropped, depending on which way you look at it. Halifax 3, Stourbridge 3. Stourbridge really will feel that these were points dropped. Having taken an early lead through Niamh Deasy on the 6th minute to then be pegged back by Lauren Wilcock on the 13th minute. It was 1-1. Then Stourbridge in front again, Alex Nicklin in the 23rd minute, and then Lois Jeffries in the 34th. 3-1 up Stourbridge were. They weren't able to hold that though at up till half time. Darcy Green 2 minutes before half time made it 3-2. And then Stourbridge, who looked like they were going to get a really good 3 points on the road, end up conceding to Isabel Dean in the 96th minute. Corner coming in, scramble in the goal mouth, and the ball gets over the line. 3-3 between Halifax and Stourbridge. Stourbridge so close to a valuable 3 points in that one. Now, if you play Predictor League, and if you don't, womensfootballchat.wordpress.com, sign up, great fun. Nick, who is part of the Wolves Women podcast, he's been on this show, I've been on there a couple of times as well. He had a 3-2 Stourbridge win and was looking for 4 points until the 96th minute and then ended up with no points. So he's not particularly happy with that one. Liverpool Fed superb win against Derby County. 3-2, and actually technically 5-0, but 2 of them were in the wrong net. An own goal in the 31st minute from Liverpool Feds gave Derby the lead, and they held on to that lead until half-time. Then Liverpool Feds turned it around straight after the break. Bethany Donoghue 46 and Rosie Kinvig 49. So 2-1 up inside the first 4 minutes of that second half. Then it got back to 2-2 again with another own goal from Liverpool Feds before they took the lead once again. Katie Anderson 5 minutes later. This time they were able to hold on. Derby County really struggling at the start of this season. We'll look at the table in a moment. But 3-2 defeat by Liverpool Feds. Another defeat for Derby County. Stoke City 4-0 winners against Huddersfield Town. Relatively comfortable for them in the end. Heidi Logan in the 25th minute, and then Alice Higginbottom 5 minutes later, 2-0 at half time. Then in the second half, Logan with her second 15 minutes from time, and Saffron Jordan with 8 minutes to go made it 4-0. In the late kick-off, West Bromwich Albion 1, Nottingham Forest 4. Forest kind of strolling relatively comfortable to a win on this one, opening the scoring just before the half-hour mark with Freya Thomas, and then 2 for Charlotte Greengrass, 33rd and 66th, 3-0 right towards the death. Misha Dudley-Jones got 1 back for West Bromwich Albion in the 89th minute, made it a little bit nervy until May Moncaster from about 30 yards scored and made it 4-1 in the final minute. So 4-1 victory for Forest. And then we go into midweek. Only a couple so far. We have more midweek coming up in the Northern Premier Division. Wolverhampton Wanderers 3, Stourbridge 0. Goals in this one to Morfitt, George and Hughes. 1 in the first half, 2 in the second half. This is a game where Stourbridge manager Andy Fisher was also sent off for his protests, which led to the first goal, I believe, if I remember correctly. So Stourbridge 3-0 defeated by Wolverhampton Wanderers. Kind of a result we were expecting. Well, I was expecting anyway. And that's not great. So Stourbridge, who actually denied Nick, from memory here, denied Nick 4 points in Predictor League at the weekend. The 3-0 victory gave him 4 points in Predictor League last night. And then again, another great game for Liverpool Feds. 5-3 away winners at Stoke City. So Liverpool Feds here. Paige Cole in the 16th minute. Katie Anderson in the 18th minute. And then Ellie Fletcher in the 39th minute. Meant Feds were 3-0 up at half time. Then into the second half became a bit more even. Stoke got 2 of those goals back. 1 for Stamps and 1 for Logan to make it 3-2. Feds then extended 2 quick goals here. Emma Johnson, 66th and 68th minute, 5-2. And then another one for Heidi Logan for Stoke City, 5-3. But 6 points this week for Liverpool Feds, who have really made a good start to their season. What it means then for the Northern Premier Division table, and again, there are games tonight, so this table is not going to be too accurate. Unless you're listening at 6 o'clock on Thursday night when this has first come out. As you can see, all a bit of a mismatch at the moment. Some teams only played 1, some have played 3. Some of the teams that have only played 1 are also playing tonight. But Wolverhampton Wanderers at the top at the moment. They are a point clear of Forest, who are not playing in midweek. So they do already have that game in hand over Wolves, but that will go straight back this weekend when Forest play and Wolves don't, because Wolves' opponents, Halifax, are in the preliminary round of the Cup. We'll come on to that later as well. But Forest in second, Liverpool Feds in third as it stands at the moment. Burnley fourth, Newcastle fifth, Stoke sixth, West Brom seventh, Huddersfield Town 8th, Halifax in 9th, just getting that lone draw in their only game so far. Stourbridge in 10th, Derby County in 11th, and AFC Fylde in 12th. So, as I said, it is far too early to look at the table with any kind of real conviction. But the FAWNL, and this is across all of the divisions, they're the kind of leagues where you can't win the league in the first month of the season, but you can very easily lose it. If you look at previous seasons, you can only afford to drop an average of between 10 and 12 points. Some years it's been a bit less than that, some it's been ever so slightly more, but it's about 10 points or so, 10 to 12 points you can afford to drop over the course of the season to win the league. Last year, you just take last year in the Northern Premier as an example because it's easy for me to bring up straight away. Forest and Wolves both only dropped 12 in the entire season, 3 draws and a couple of losses, which means if you're a team like Derby County, who had those ambitions of being up and challenging again, they only fell away right at the end last year with some tough fixtures and finished in 4th. Derby have already dropped 6, and if you want to win the title, you're looking at only dropping 12 or so all season long. So in the first 2 weeks of the season, they've dropped half of what they can do the rest of the year if they want to go for that title. And that's not taken into account, they had that defeat to Wolves on opening day. So you've still got 2 Forests, 2 Newcastles, 2 Burnleys, another Wolves, and you have to be winning those games in order to have a title challenge now. So it comes back to what I'm saying here in that, and it's relevant in the Southern Prem as well, which we'll come on to, in that you can't win the title. Wolves have dropped 2 points. Okay, that was a draw with Burnley. It's kind of what you would expect. Forest perfect at the moment. Newcastle perfect at the moment, having only played 1. Derby are already, let's take them to Forest because they've played the same number of games, 6 points back. It's very easy for them to lose the chance of getting to the title by the end of October or what have you. But Forest can't win the title already. You know what I mean? So it's going to be very difficult for Derby this season. I think Huddersfield Town 4 points off already as well, but they've got a game in hand over Wolves. So you're starting to see patterns and starting to see who might be struggling, and teams that are already struggling really need to sort themselves out very, very quickly. Right, Southern Premier Division then. Billericay Town 2, Rugby Borough 3. Very difficult result for Billericay Town to take here with a 95th minute winner for Rugby Borough. Thanks to Nixon, Angelina Nixon in that one. In fact, all of Rugby's goals came relatively late. Billericay Town were 2-0 up in this one thanks to Olivia Smith and Che Thomas both before the hour mark, but then Lily Greenslade in the 69th minute got one back. Rugby equalised 3 minutes from time, and then Angelina Nixon 5 minutes into added time gave them the 3-2 victory. Same scoreline for Cheltenham Town over London Bees, though this one was slightly less back and forth. Got Taylor O'Leary in the 10th minute, put London Bees in front, but then Cheltenham Town with Billingham in the 34th minute, Allen in the 54th minute, and then Emily Owen in the 78th minute made it 3-1. London Bees getting one back through Dunbar Bonney late on in the 84th minute, and that made it 3-2, but Cheltenham able to hold on. Convincing victory for Ipswich Town, 7-1 in the end. 2 for Lena Williams, 5th and 41st minute. 2 for Sophie Peskett, 15th and 31st minute. 2 for Natasha Thomas, 45 plus 1 and 58. And Evie Williams, 75 with the goals for Ipswich. Only 1 goal for Plymouth, Rebecca Dandridge in the 26th minute. So it was 2-1 at that point. And then Ipswich just streaked away with it in the end. Milton Keynes Dons, 3-0 victory over Chatham Town. Goals in this one, Lily Dolling, 28th minute, Laura Mitchell in the 38th, and Rianne Rush in the 61st. Chatham Town kind of struggling to get off the mark so much in this as well. And then Oxford 1, #United 2. No lineup from Oxford on full time yet. That's a fine. It's kind of becoming my catchphrase for this year. That's another fine coming Oxford's way. But Oxford had not lost at home since 2019 when Cardiff City Ladies won there in April 2019 towards the end of that season. #United have come in and 2 goals to Samantha Rowland in the first half, 39th and 43rd minute, have meant that #United beat Oxford and stop them and stop that incredible home form. And not great for Oxford, who really have struggled at the start of this season. We'll look at the table in a moment, but great for #United. And then Portsmouth winning 9-0 against Cardiff City. Cardiff City without first choice keeper Laura O'Sullivan in this one, the Wales number 1. So Grace Harrell, who is an outfielder but has played in goal sometimes in the past, had to go in goal for Cardiff. Just realised I'm over some of the Portsmouth scorers. There we go. So Portsmouth opened the scoring. Sophie Quirk in the 2nd minute. She also got one in the 22nd. Annie Rolfe in the 19th. Emma Jones in the 55th and the 65th. Then a hat-trick for Danielle Lane, 73rd, 83rd and 90 plus 1. And Emily Pittman, 90 plus 2. So not a great first game after announcing this takeover for Cardiff City. Heavy defeat there, but with no real, with no real goalkeeper. Then it's kind of what you may well expect. Moving then into midweek, Chatham Town goalless again, a 0-0 draw with Billericay Town. On Tuesday evening. #United then, after defeating one of last season's title challengers, then go and defeat another 3-2 over Ipswich Town last night. Baker in the 2nd minute, Rowland in the 39th and Gill in the 73rd. For Ipswich, Thomas in the 49th and a penalty to Horwood in the 6th minute of added time. #United 6 points on the course of this week, and they've defeated both Oxford and Ipswich in the last few days. Milton Keynes Dons, another 3-0 victory, this time away from home at London Bees. Megan Attenborough in the 10th minute, Laura Mitchell in the 26th, and Amy McLean in the 58th. And a bad week went worse for Oxford United after losing by a 1-0 to Rugby Borough. Nixon with the goal in that one 20 minutes into the game. What it means for the table in the Southern Premier Division, then Rugby Borough at the top with #United, a perfect 3 from 3 for them, with Milton Keynes Dons just a couple of points behind, still unbeaten. Portsmouth, they're 100% as well, but they've played 1 game less. And Ipswich Town, Billericay Town, Cheltenham Town, and then Oxford United. And this is where I'm getting at with this losing the league very early on. In the season, Oxford United played free just the 1 point. Rugby Borough and # played free 9 points. Oxford are already 8 points back from the top of the table. And last year, it was a 13 points. And again, it was decided on goal difference with Watford winning. But 13 points was all you could drop if you wanted to win the title last season. And it's been, again, there or thereabouts in previous seasons as well. We obviously had all the COVID disruption and all of that. But Oxford have already dropped 8 points. So it means they can only really afford to lose 1 more game all season. I think it's a very different Oxford side. They're, of course, now without their manager as well. But Oxford, I think, are going to have a very different season this season to the one they had last. Then towards the bottom there, Plymouth and Cardiff. Cardiff, of course, just came up last season, having a difficult start to life back in the Southern Premier Division after only spending 1 year at Tier 4 level. But already you can start to see there is much more of a split in the Southern Prem than there is in the Northern Prem. You've got 3 teams yet to score a point, 2 teams that have just got 1, and you've got teams right up the top, 9-9, 7-6-6. It feels much more elongated already than the Northern Premier Division does. Right, let's move through then into Tier 4. Let's have a look at the Division 1 Midlands results then. So Bournemouth St Michael's 1, Leafield Athletic 3. Early goal in this one for Leafield Athletic. And it was the only goal of the first half. Leonie Joyce just 2 minutes in, giving them the lead. Boldmere able to get back right at the start of the second half. Jade Formerston on 48 minutes made it 1-1. Then Leaford Athletic with Sarah Hazen in the 86th and Joyce again in the 90th. 2 late goals gave them 3 points. Loughborough Lightning 3-0 victory against Northampton Town. Fern Pound in the 14th minute, Georgia Hewitt in the 37th, and Lydia Tilbury-Henry in the 51st. 3-0 for Loughborough. Notts County and Sheffield played out an entertaining 3-3 draw. Late goals in this one. Goals for Sheffield, don't have times on these, one of the only teams I don't. Stacey Buxton, Millie Fugler and Amy Nelson with the goals for Sheffield. Notts County coming back late on, Amy Brett in the 51st minute, and then 2 for Nicola Russell off the substitutes bench, 78th minute and 89th minute, getting the point for Notts County. Peterborough United 4-2 over Sutton Coldfield Town, but a good showing from Sutton Coldfield against one of the teams tipped to be the title challengers this season. And they took the lead as well. Chloe Handley in the 7th minute gave Sutton Coldfield that lead. But then Sophie Scargill got the equaliser for Peterborough just 23 minutes in. Tara Kirk then put Peterborough in front on 28 minutes, and that's how it went into half-time. Goals took a while to come in the second half, but Eve Driscoll-King, 15 minutes from time, made it 3-1. Katie Middleton then made it 4-1, 5 minutes from time, before Romea Farquharson got a consolation goal for Sutton Coldfield Town. 4-2, nothing to show for it for Sutton, but a 4-2 victory for Peterborough United. League Town 2, Lincoln City 2. League Town, the leaders in this one at half-time. Elisa Gindra in the 35th minute, the only goal of the first half. It was late drama here as well. Madison Green, 70th minute for Lincoln, pulled it back to 1-1. We go into 90, we go into added time, and then Emma Henderson, 3 minutes into added time, looks for all the world as though they've given League Town the 3 points, going 2-1 up, only for 1 minute later Cassie Stewart in the 4th minute of added time to equalise again for Lincoln City. So 2-2, that one finished. And Solihull Moors 0, Sporting Cowser 2. Goals in this one either side of half-time. One for Rebecca Hall in 32nd minute and one for Alexandra Lydiard in the 57th minute. Into midweek fixtures then. And Sutton Coldfield Town, after just missing out to Peterborough 4-2 at the weekend, then beat Leafield Athletic by 3-1 last night. Finn with 2 here, 8th and 71st minute. Handy in the 56th minute with their third. Leafield Athletics comes just 5 minutes into the second half, but is an own goal from Sutton Coldfield Town. Another 3-0 victory for Loughborough Lightning, this time over Notts County. Jessica Collier in the 16th minute, Hannah Plum in the 21st, and Lauren Purchase in the 53rd. It was 52 on Twitter, it's 53 on full time. To make of that what you will. Peterborough United 4, Lincoln City 1. Perkins in the 12th minute, Rosie Axton in the 42nd, Tara Kirk in the 88th, and Katie Middleton in the 90th. Relatively comfortable for Peterborough United. Just 1 goal, 15 minutes from time for Horner for Lincoln City. And a 5-goal game between Sporting Cowser and Boldmere St Michael's. Boldmere St Michael's referee, looking at this, had a very busy night. Sporting Cowsers lineup is not yet on. They scored in the 4th minute of added time at the end of the first half and the 2nd minute of added time at the end of the second half in the penalty spot thanks to Smith. Boulmere St Michael's, though, goals to Jade Formerston in the 28th minute and 2 for Gabriella Meyer in the 41st and the 78th minutes has given them the win. But the story from this one is 6 yellow cards and a second yellow card for Formerston as well, resulting in that red. Busy night for the referee. I hope he had a big notebook. But what appears as though it might have been a bit of a bad-tempered game at Sporting Cowser. Division 1 Midlands table then, Loughborough Lightning at the top. Nobody is perfect in Division 1 Midlands already this season. So Loughborough Lightning at the top with 2 wins and a draw from their opening 3 games. Then a group of teams on 6 points. Peterborough, Sporting Cowser, Sutton Coldfield Town. Sutton Coldfield Town doing really well early on. Lincoln City nipping at the heels. Boulmere St Michael's firmly mid-table. Leaford Athletic, Northampton Town, Sheffield on 3 and 2. Leek Town just outside that drop. They do have a game in hand over Notts. Not that that really means anything at this point of the season. Notts County finding their feet a little bit. They had that good draw. They'll want to be picking up some points relatively soon, though, so they aren't chasing later on in the season. Solihull Moors at the bottom of the table, but have only played the 1 game where everybody else has played 2 or 3. Right, Division 1 North, we're about halfway through the results and we're already on about halfway on the half hour on the recording. So this is going to be a bit of a long one today, I think. Division 1 North then, Chester Street Town 0, Barnsley 3. Goals in this one, 2 for Abby Housecroft, again early 2nd minute, and then in the 34th minute, Emily Pierpont in the 44th minute. So Barnsley, all of their scoring done before half-time, were then able to just see the game out. Chorley 1, York City 0. Close game between these two. Melissa Ball in the 45th minute, a stroke of half-time, giving Chorley what would prove to be the only goal of the game and the 3 points. Leeds United 3, Doncaster Rovers Bells 1. Paige Williams in the 11th minute and the 67th minute for Leeds. Catherine Smith in the 55th. Would put them 3 goals to the good. Doncaster Rovers Bells for Ella Mortimer got a bit of a consolation one towards the end there, 5 minutes from time. 0-0 between FC United of Manchester and Norton and Stockton Ancients. Nothing really of note from that game. And Hull City 4, Middlesbrough 1. Hat-trick here for Helen Linsky. 13th, 62nd and 90 plus 4. It was 1-1 for a time because Bethany Guy had equalised for Middlesbrough in the 18th minute until Linsky decided that she'd just keep scoring goals. And then Hope Knight, 20 minutes from time, 4-1 for Middlesbrough. Stockport County, really good win for them against Durham Sestra. Durham Sestra, of course, last year's title challengers, who didn't go up because Newcastle just took that top spot at the end. Jessica Gillen, 26th minute, the only goal of the game, and Stockport County take the 3 points. Moving into midweek, Chorley, another good victory for them, 2-1 over FC United of Manchester. Goals in this one, FC United Manchester, they took the lead. Ella Ritchie in the 7th minute. Chorley equalised from the penalty spot thanks to Laura Walker on the 13th minute, and then Daisy Mason with 4 minutes from time put Chorley in front, and that would prove to be the game-winning goal for Chorley. 6 points for the week for them. Middlesbrough putting more misery onto Durham Sestra. 1-0 the victory for Middlesbrough. Durham Sestra, no points from the week then. Towers with the only goal for Middlesbrough, 42 minutes into the game on that one. And Barnsley gets 6 points for their week. They win 1-0 away at Stockport County. Cosmore, just on the stroke of half-time, 45th minute, the only goal of the game in that one. And Leeds United, a second 3-1 away win of the week, this time at York City. Jessica Rezu in the 16th and the 50th minute gave Leeds United a 2-0 lead. Catherine Smith added to that in the 52nd minute to make it 3-0. Pretty much the situation as at the weekend. York City this time getting that consolation goal through Brown 4 minutes from time. Division 1 North table then, early table, Barnsley and Leeds perfect, 3 for 3. Hull City a perfect 2 for 2. Chorley also there on 6 points, having played a game more. Middlesbrough nipping at their heels on 4. Group of teams on 3, Doncaster, Durham and Stockport before we get down towards the bottom there then. Norton, Stockton, Ancients, couple of draws for them. FC United, Manchester, that single point on their return to Division 1 North. York City in the relegation zone at the moment, and Chester Street Town on their return, yet to get off the mark. Right, Division 1 South East, a busy few days in Division 1 South East. AFC Wimbledon 5, Queen's Park Rangers 3. Emily Donovan opening the scoring in the 4th minute and then getting a second in the 14th minute to put Wimbledon 2-0 in front. Queen's Park Rangers then get both of those goals back. Kasia Pettit in the 33rd minute and Renee McRae in the 38th minute makes it 2-2, and they go in at half-time at 2-2. Early in the second half, Ashley Hinks at 49th minute puts Wimbledon back in front. They then go 4-2 in front thanks to Ashley Goddard in the 54th minute. They then go 5-2 in front thanks to Hinks again in the 69th. Queen's Park Rangers get one back with 4 minutes to go thanks to Grace Stanley, but it just proved to be too much of a deficit for them to make up, and 8 goals go the way of AFC Wimbledon by 5-3. Actonians 4-0 win against Cambridge City, 3-0 up at half-time in this one. Maria Ledsmaviso in the 3rd minute. A quick opening of the scoring for Actonians. Rochelle Shakes 21st, Olivia Clement 31st, 3-0 up at half-time. And then just one added in the second half, Amber Dredge in the 76th minute. Ashford Town 6, AFC Sudbury 1, a hat-trick in this one for Alyssa Down. 14th, 51st and 67th minute from a combined total of 36 yards. 3 penalties from 12 yards for Down in that one. Sudbury really struggling inside the box to avoid fouls, and that was after Ashley Cheatley had put Ashford in front in the 6th minute. And then we got Brogan Moore in the 30th minute and Amy Dern in the 40th minute. It was 4-0 to Ashford by half-time. Sudbury did get one back through Kira Harms in the 65th minute, midway through the second half, but a very convincing win for Ashford. Cambridge United, a 4-0 victory over Haywards Heath Town. Goals in this one, not yet announced by Cambridge United. That's a fine. But they were 4 goals for Wiltshire, 5th, 40th, 61st and 87th minute. The goals for Cambridge United. Norwich City played out a 2-2 draw with London Seaward. 2 for Natasha Snelling for Norwich, 29th and 73rd minute. London Seaward, 1 for Catherine Long in the 55th, 1 for Megan Burrows in the 74th. So very much a case of 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. Pretty even game between those two at the Nest. And then Worthing, great victory for them, a 5-1 win over Chesham United. And Chesham United had taken the lead in this one. Natalia Makowska in the 12th minute had put them 1-0 up on the road. And then Samantha Quayle equalised for Worthing 5 minutes before the half-time break. They went in level. And then Rebecca Bath decided that she didn't want to be level anymore and wanted Worthing to get all 3 points. 47th, 77th, 83rd, 90 plus 1. 4 goals for her on the night and a 5-1 victory for Worthing. Into midweek fixtures, AFC Sudbury 2, Cambridge United 2. Sophie Jeffrey in the 53rd minute and Evie Cretan in the 54th minute for Sudbury. 2 quick goals for them. Cambridge United then pulled it back from 2 goals down. Simmons in the 72nd and Wood in the 74th. Norwich City 4-0 winners away at Cambridge City, so they got 4 points from the week. There's an own goal in the 10th minute started everything off, then 2 for Snelling again, 28th and 45th, and then a penalty for Megan Todd in the second half. 4-0 to Norwich. Huge result for Ashford Town away at Wimbledon. 2-0 winners after going into the break even at 0-0. Ashley Cheatley in the 54th minute opened the scoring for Ashford, and then Brogan Moore 3 minutes from time made it 2-0. Superb result for Ashford, who make it 6 points on the week. And another great result there for Worthing. Rebecca Bath in the 54th minute from the penalty spot, and Samantha Quayle in the 75th minute, not from the penalty spot but from the rebound of the penalty. 15 minutes from time, Haywards Heath again struggling with discipline in the 18-yard box. 2-0 for Worthing and 6 points on the week for them. Means that they are perfect 2 from 2. In Division 1 South East, it's Ashford who are top, perfect 3 from 3. Norwich City with 2 wins and a draw. Then Worthing perfect 2 from 2. Great start to the season for Worthing. Again, it's one of these where you're already seeing that big separation between the top and the bottom. Teams struggling. Cambridge City, Cheshire United, Haywards Heath Town yet to get off the mark. AFC Sudbury on just a single point as well in the mid-table on their promotion, after their promotion to Division 1 South East. But kind of looking very different at the moment, very early days, but looking different to how it did last season, with Wimbledon way down there, London Seawood a little bit further down than they perhaps would like. But a win and a draw from 2 games, can't really complain too much at that. It will be a case, once we get into kind of mid-October time, first County Cup day on the 15th of October, then after that you've got the FA Cup. We'll start to be seeing these league tables taking a bit more shape. Finally, 4 results then. Division 1 South West. AFC Bournemouth 3, Bridgewater United 1. Goals in this one, Alicia Buckingham 29th minute, then Molly Clark 62nd minute, 2-0. Bridgewater looked as though they might get back in it. Chloe Snook from the penalty spot with 5 minutes to go made it 2-1, but Molly Gladwell 4 minutes into added time at the end of the second half made it 3-1 to Bournemouth. They held on, got all 3 points. Same scoreline for Exeter City. Swindon Town, Helen Diaz-Butcher in the 3rd minute put them in front, so Exeter had to claw their way back into it. Jenna Markham doing that 10 minutes before half-time, and then 2 late goals for Natasha Knapman, 83rd and 88th minute, with a brace for her 5 minutes apart. Exeter City 3, Swindon Town 1. Big win for Maidenhead United against Chelsea, 5-0, although this originally was put on full-time as 4-2. I don't understand it either. But a hat-trick for Simone O'Brien in the 18th, 57th and 83rd minute gave Maidenhead United a very good footing, helped by Isabella Stockton in the 55th and Gemma Blore in the 81st minute. 5-0. Chelsea not having a good time of things, but it does get a whole lot worse for them, as we'll come on to in a moment. Portishead Town 1, Abingdon United 4. Good win for Abingdon. Goals in this one to Hartigan, Osborne Ricketts, and 2 for Grace Eagles. We don't have times on those. Amy Clark in the 81st minute with the goal for Portishead. Narrow victory for Keynsham Town away at Southampton Women. Brooke Stirrup 2 minutes before half time with the win for Keynsham Town. And Moneyfields, great clawback in this one against Torquay United. They had fallen 2 goals behind inside 6 minutes. Emma Hollingsworth in the 5th and the 6th had put Torquay United 2 goals in front, but Moneyfields clawed their way back into it with Chelsea Hay in the 15th and the 49th minute, Kirsty Pears in the 34th minute, Charlie Wilson-Wilton in the 41st, and Gemma Simmons in the 74th. So, yes, it was a great start for Torquay, but by half-time, they were already 3-2 down. Right, finally, midweek then. For Division 1 South West, 4-0 AFC Bournemouth beating Southampton Women. So 2 for Lucy Cooper, 18th and the 63rd minute. Gemma Hillier in the 45 plus 3 and Amber Trowick in the 52nd minute with the goals for Bournemouth. Very good win for Bridgewater United over Portishead Town by 6 goals to 1. Barry in the 4th, Bishop in the 9th, 21st and 55th minute, Snook in the 73rd and Everson in the 75th. Portishead Town's goal coming 10 minutes from time. It was the Markham and Stacey show at Exeter City. 7-0 winners over Torquay United. 4 for Jenna Markham and 3 for Sarah Stacey. Stacey's coming 11th, 39th and 50th. Markham's coming 42, 47, 74 and 82. 7-0 victory for them over Torquay United. But 16-0 for Moneyfields over Chelsea, who have conceded 21 goals this week without reply. So goals for Moneyfield coming to Wild in the 3rd, the 48th and the 65th, to Simmons in the 12th and the 45th plus 2, Taylor in the 14th, the 38th and the 45th plus 1, Hay in the 22nd, the 44th and the 90th, Tonks in the 25th, Wilson in the 51st and 62nd, Bond in the 65th, and an own goal in the 90th. 16-0. Nobody had that in Predictor League, I can tell you that for free. Right, Southwest table. Bournemouth and Exeter City, a perfect 3 from 3. Moneyfields and Maidenhead, a perfect 2 from 2. Abingdon doing well after their victory as well against Portishead Town. They've got their first 3 points on the board. They're in 5th. Much more even here. You've got, you've got 4 perfect teams. And then you've got 5 teams with 3 points and 3 teams with nothing. Southampton women struggling to get off the mark this season as well, after having a bit of a resurgence towards the end of last year. Torquay United need to adapt to life in Division 1 Southwest relatively quickly, but Chelsea, minus 34 after just 3 games. Very bad for them. And that's essentially... we talk about this towards the back end of the year, but it feels like they're on minus 1 points now because of that goal difference. Being level on points is not going to be enough to get them above anybody. So they really need to pick up some points very, very quickly. And that, after 40 minutes, is all of the results from the past 7 days in the FAWNL. Let's now have a look at fixtures coming up in the next 7 days. We have then some tonight. We've got some on Sunday. Well, we've got some tonight and some on Sunday, but not everyone's playing in the league on Sunday because some are playing in the preliminary round of the Cup. 4 Cup preliminary rounds and 1 plate preliminary round because Chesham were kicked out because they didn't face hashtag in the determining round. Burnley and Chesterley Street Town then withdrew. So, tonight in the Northern Premier Division, Fylde against Burnley. Fylde, of course, currently at the bottom, and they are looking for their first points of the season. Burnley could, with a big win, go top. Halifax against Huddersfield Town, 2 teams in 8th and 9th, looking to both pick up more points. Then at the weekend, Huddersfield Town against Burnley, currently 8th against 4th. Liverpool Feds take on West Brom, that's 3rd against 7th. Newcastle against Stoke, 5th against 6th. Forest take on Fylde, so tough week for Fylde with Burnley and Forest. Forest, of course, with a win, could go back top. And Stourbridge against Derby County. That will be an interesting one to look at because Stourbridge have put on decent performances, but as yet failed to get anything. Derby County really need to get their season going. If Stourbridge can beat Derby, and then you're talking about a 9-point gap, Derby pointless in the first 3 games, then that's 1 team out of it, in my opinion, already, which is quite remarkable. Southern Premier Division, tonight at Kate Lane, Cheltenham against Cardiff City. Again, Cardiff in 11th, needs some points. Cheltenham, 1 win out of their 2 games. Then at the weekend, Cardiff host Rugby Borough. Rugby currently perfect, 9 from 9. So that's going to be tough for Cardiff as well. Unsure if they're going to have Laura O'Sullivan back, which is going to be a big part of how they do. London Bees against Billericay Town, 10th against 6th. MK Dons take on Ipswich, 3rd against 5th. That's going to be another good game. Oxford against Chatham. Oxford really need the points here. So did Chatham, though, both with only 1 point from their first 3 games. Plymouth against Cheltenham Town. That's 12th against 7th. and #United against Portsmouth. That's going to be a really good indicator. I mean, they've already had some pretty good indicators, beating Ipswich and Oxford, but we've seen Oxford aren't quite what they were last season. #against Portsmouth. That, for me, is the game to watch. If you're going to that game, be aware it's a 3 o'clock start, not a 2 o'clock start. Division 1 Midlands then. So tonight, Leek against Sheffield. That's at the F-Ball Community Stadium, 7:45 start. That's 9th against 10th. Both sides looking for their first win of the season. Northampton Town take on Solihull Moors. That's 8th against 12th. Leaford Athletic against Leek Town. That is 7th against 10th. Lincoln City face Northampton. 5th against 8th. Sheffield take on Solihull Moors. 9th against 12th. So Solihull Moors will have picked up one of the games that they are lacking at the moment by the time we do next week's show. And Sutton Coldfield Town against Notts County. 4th against 11th. And Sutton Coldfield Town will be looking to carry on with their very good start to the season. Division 1 North then. Hull City against Doncaster Rovers Bells. 3rd against 6th. That's tonight. And Norton Stockton Ancients against Chester Street Town. Both sides again looking for their first win of the season tonight at 7:45. Then into the weekend. Chester Street Town against Hull City. That again, Chester Street. 2 games this week. Could do with a point from them. Leeds United against Middlesbrough, 2nd against 5th. Norton Stockton Ancients take on Chorley then. That's 9th against 4th if it stands at the moment. Stockport against Doncaster Rovers Bells, 8th against 6th. And York City against FC United of Manchester, 11th against 10th. So Barnsley, not in action this weekend, means that Leeds could have the chance to go top if they beat Middlesbrough. Division 1 South East. This is the league that's been most heavily affected by the preliminary round. So only 5 games, one of which is tonight, 8 p.m. between London Seaward and Queen's Park Rangers. That's 5th against 8th. Then at the weekend, Actonians against Ashford Town. Ashford Town looking to make it 4 wins out of 4. Actonians in 6th at the moment. 1 win, 1 defeat from their 2. Cheshire United against Cambridge City. 10th against 12th. Something's got to give here. One of these 2 teams is going to have a point by the end of Sunday, at least. Norwich City against Cambridge United. This one's at Carrow Road. This is at the men's stadium for Norwich City as they aim to try and get to the top. Cambridge United, the opponents in that one, currently in 4th. And Worthing against London Seaward, 3rd against 5th. Finally then, finally for league fixtures, Division 1 South West. 2 games tonight. Abingdon United against Maidenhead United. That's 4th against 5th. And Keynsham Town take on Swindon Town. That is 6th against 7th. So very much mid-table early on games between those 4 teams. Then at the weekend, Keynsham Town take on Portishead Town, which is currently 7th against 9th. Maidenhead United take on Torquay. That's 4th against 11th. Torquay still looking for a point. And Selsey take on Bridgewater United at home. Bridgewater United only 1 win from their 3 games so far. Selsey, of course, yet to get a point in the league. We'll see if they can do it this weekend or if Bridgewater United can increase their goal difference somewhat. Final page then. Cup fixtures, preliminary round. This is to get from 36 or 35 in the Plates case down to 32 so we can start having a knockout. So, Halifax against Sporting Cowser. That is Northern Premier against Division 1 Midlands. And then Loughborough Lightning against Durham Cestra in the Northern section. That's a 2:30 kickoff. Is Midlands against North. Then in the Southern section, Queen's Park Rangers against Moneyfields is South East versus South West. That's at the Powerday Stadium. And then Swindon Town of South West host Wimbledon of South East at the County Ground. Again, at the men's stadium. So don't go to the normal ground for Swindon. Go to the County Ground. Then in the Plate, just one fixture. Exeter City against Abingdon United at the Eswick Sports Ground. Again, normal, 2 p.m. South West. And that will do it for all of the fixtures and all of the results from this week's FAWNL, plus, of course, that takeover. It's been a very long show this week, an awful lot to get through. Next week will be a bit quieter. because of we haven't got midweek to talk about. We've only got those few Thursday games to go through. Then there isn't the midweek. But and we will know the cup. We might have a cup draw as well. We'll see. But there's plenty coming up here because we've got 1st of October there. 1st of October is the first round of the cup, which means that there will be the cup games to go through. And then on the 15th of October, it's County Cup Day. So many teams aren't in action. Then the 22nd of October, only Tier 3 is in league action because Tier 4 is in the third qualifying round of the FA Cup. We're getting to that stage where all the cup competitions are coming in now. So stay with me every Thursday at 6 p.m. I'll guide you through all of the various competitions. Of course, if you want to take part in Predictor League, www.womensfootballchat.wordpress.com is where you can find all of the information. It's going well so far. I'm doing well in South East and South West. Not doing so well in the North. But yes, join up that, completely free, fun to play. And keep an eye on womensfootballchat.wordpress.com for more articles, roundups, information, and my Twitter at Chris_Gadsby. But for now, thank you very much for watching and or listening to this week's Women's Football Chat, and goodbye.